Welcome to TechSphere Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're diving deep into two possible futures for AI.
It's a big one.
Oh, absolutely. It's buzzing everywhere, and for good reason, I think.
Yeah, for good reason.
We're lucky to have a true expert with us today.
Happy to be here.
We've got some exciting material to unpack today. We're going to explore two very different but equally compelling visions of where AI might be headed.
Sounds good.
We're going to be looking at the ideas of Sam Altman, he's the CEO of OpenAI.
Right.
And Dario Amodei, CEO of Anthropic.
Okay.
Two leading figures with very distinct perspectives.
Yeah, they're both right at the forefront of AI development. It's so interesting how their views on the future diverge.
It's almost like they're on two separate paths, each leading to a future, but with completely different destinations.
Yeah.
Sam Altman seems to be firmly in the AI as a super tool camp.
Yes, and in his blog post, The Intelligence Age, he really lays out this vision of AI unlocking this new era of human flourishing, tackling climate change, eradicating diseases.
Right.
AI could be the key to solving those really complex challenges that we've been facing for centuries.
It's a pretty optimistic outlook, isn't it?
It is.
But Altman doesn't shy away from the potential downsides either.
No, that's what makes his perspective so interesting, so compelling.
Right.
He acknowledges that, we're at a critical juncture. The choices that we're making today about how we develop and manage AI will determine whether it leads us to a brighter future or a darker one.
It's a big responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility, and he doesn't sugarcoat it.
So then that brings us to Dario Amodei and his perspective on AI's future. His blog post, Machines of Loving Grace, paints a different picture.
It does. Amodei's vision is a bit more nuanced, maybe even a touch more cautious. He's not just looking at AI as a tool we control, but as something that has the potential to become an entity in its own right. You could think of it as a highly aligned superintelligence.
So not just helping us solve problems, but actually coexisting with us on a whole other level.
Exactly. His focus is on making sure that this superintelligence is aligned with our human values. He uses the phrase machines of loving grace, which kind of paints this picture of AI systems that are just inherently benevolent, designed to help us, not harm us. It's a thought-provoking concept, that's for sure.
But it almost sounds utopian. But how do we actually achieve that kind of alignment between human values and a super intelligent AI? That can't be easy.
You're right. It's a massive undertaking. And Amodei acknowledges this, especially when talking about the alignment problem in AI research,
right?
Which is, how do we guarantee that these really powerful AI systems stay aligned with our goals and values as they're becoming more and more sophisticated? It's something that keeps a lot of AI researchers up at night.
So we've got these two contrasting visions side by side. On one hand, we have Altman's optimism about AI as a tool for progress. And on the other hand, Amodei's more cautious approach, really emphasizing the need to ensure that AI evolves in a way that benefits humanity.
But what's so fascinating is that despite their differences, there's actually a lot of common ground between the two.
Yeah, you're right. They both recognize that AI is a game-changing technology with immense potential for good.
Right.
And they both stress the importance of responsible development and mitigating those risks associated with AI.
It's like they both understand that we're going into uncharted territory here.
Yeah.
And the decisions we make today, they will have ripple effects far into the future.
Almost like they're both saying, hey, this AI thing, this is powerful. It could change everything. So let's make sure we do this right.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just hypothetical either. Like OpenAI's Orion model.
Right.
Set to launch December 2024.
Yeah. Orion is expected to be a huge leap forward in AI capabilities.
It is.
It'll be so fascinating to see how it impacts the field, especially given these two distinct visions for AI's future.
For sure.
It feels like we're right on the brink of something truly revolutionary.
It goes beyond just, advancements in AI intelligence, too. We're also seeing AI being applied to real-world issues, like in some incredible ways.
Like the Shake Alert app?
Yes. Shake Alert uses AI to detect earthquakes early on and sends alerts to millions of people, potentially saving countless lives.
Wow.
It's a fantastic example of how AI can be harnessed for the benefit of humanity.
And it's not even limited to earthquakes. We're seeing AI being used in everything from medical diagnoses to disaster preparedness. It feels like we're just getting started.
Which makes this whole discussion so exciting and, to be honest, a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
The future of AI is still unfolding, but it's clear this is a pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Our choices and actions right now will determine whether AI becomes a force for good or something that we come to regret.
It's a lot to process. So for our listeners, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you lean more towards Altman's optimism about AI as a tool for progress? Or are you more aligned with Amodei's cautious approach, focusing on alignment and safety?
It's a complex issue, no easy answers.
Yeah.
But it's a conversation that we need to be having. The future of AI, ultimately, it rests in our hands.
We have the power to shape how this technology develops and make sure it benefits all of humanity.
A huge responsibility.
It is.
And it's not just about the big players like Altman and Amodei.
Right.
Everyone has a role to play in this. The more we understand about AI, its potential and its risks, the better prepared we'll be to navigate this uncharted territory.
And that's what we're all about here at TechSphere Podcast, exploring these complex topics, breaking them down, and helping our listeners understand the forces that are shaping our world. We'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll delve even deeper into AI and its potential impact. But before we go,
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of technology and innovation.
Welcome back to TechSphere Podcast for part 2 of our deep dive into the future of AI.
It's great to be back. We've covered some thought-provoking ground so far. Those contrasting visions of AI's future from Sam Altman and Dario Amodei really set the stage.
They did. And I think it's important to remember that this isn't just a theoretical debate.
Yeah.
AI is already having a real impact on our world in ways we might not even realize.
Absolutely. In the last part, we talked about the Shake Alert app, which is, a great example of AI being used for good. But let's zoom out a bit and look at some of the broader applications. Did you know that AI is being integrated into almost every facet of our lives?
Wow.
From healthcare and finance to transportation and entertainment.
It's incredible to think about. I know there's been a lot of talk about AI in healthcare, particularly.
It's a hotbed for innovation right now. Picture this: AI analyzing medical images to help doctors make faster, more accurate diagnoses, or AI personalizing treatment plans based on a patient's individual genetic makeup. It really has the potential to revolutionize how we approach healthcare altogether.
It sounds like sci-fi, but it's happening right now.
Yeah.
What about other fields? Yeah. What kind of impact is AI having there?
Well, in finance, AI is being used to detect fraud and manage investments in ways that, were unimaginable just a few years ago. And in transportation, we have self-driving cars that are no longer a futuristic fantasy. They're being tested on roads around the world as we speak.
Amazing.
AI-powered traffic management systems are also being implemented to, ease congestion and make our commutes smoother.
It's amazing to see how quickly this technology is advancing and being applied to these real-world challenges.
It really is. But while we celebrate these advancements, it's also really important to remember that AI is, it's a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
That's a sobering thought. As AI becomes more powerful and more integrated into our lives, what are some of the key considerations we need to keep in mind?
There are many, but one that stands out is the potential for AI to exacerbate existing societal biases.
Yeah, that's a concern I've heard a lot about.
Sure.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah. So AI systems, they're trained on these massive amounts of data. And if that data reflects the existing biases in our society, for example, gender or racial biases, the AI system's going to learn and perpetuate those biases.
Right.
This could lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes in areas like hiring or lending or even criminal justice.
So how do we mitigate that risk? How do we make sure that AI is being used to promote fairness and equality rather than, reinforcing these existing inequalities?
It's a complex challenge.
Yeah.
But there are a few key things that we can do. First, we need to be more mindful of the data that we're using to train these AI systems. We need to make sure that data is diverse and representative of the populations AI is intended to serve.
So if we're developing an AI system to be used in healthcare, for instance,
exactly,
we need to make sure that the data includes information from a wide range of patients, representing different ages, ethnicities, genders, socioeconomic backgrounds.
Precisely. The more diverse and representative our data is, the less likely it is that the AI systems will perpetuate, these harmful biases. Second, we need to actually develop techniques to detect and mitigate bias in these AI systems. This is an active area of research, and there are some promising approaches that are already being explored.
It sounds like a lot of work still needs to be done in this area.
It does, but it's crucial work. If we want AI to benefit all of humanity, we need to be addressing these challenges head on. We can't just assume that technology will solve all our problems. We need to be actively involved in shaping its development and deployment.
Yeah, you've raised some really important points. It's clear that while AI offers this incredible potential, it also presents some significant challenges that we need to navigate really carefully.
Yeah.
As we move forward, how can individuals like our listeners stay informed and engaged in this rapidly evolving field?
That's a great question. First and foremost, I encourage everyone to be curious and to learn as much as they can about AI. There are so many resources available online, from introductory articles to in-depth courses. What are some good starting points for someone who's completely new to this?
A great starting point would be to read those blog posts that we mentioned earlier by Sam Altman and Dario Amodei.
Right.
They're both written for a general audience and offer some thought-provoking insights into the future of AI. You could also explore online learning platforms like Coursera or ADX, which offer a wide range of AI-related courses for all levels, from beginner to advanced. And don't forget, tons of great podcasts out there too, including our very own TechSphere.
Of course.
But beyond learning about the technology itself,
right,
is there anything else that people can do to be kind of active participants in shaping the future of AI?
Absolutely. One of the most powerful things that we can do is talk about it.
Okay.
Have conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Share what you're learning, voice your concerns, and brainstorm ideas for how AI can be used for good. These conversations really help us to collectively grapple with the ethical and societal implications of AI and ensure that it aligns with our values.
So it's not just about individual learning, it's about collective understanding and engagement.
Exactly. The future of AI isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's something that we're all shaping together through the choices that we make, the actions that we take, and yes, the conversations that we have.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have a voice in this.
We absolutely do. The future of AI, it isn't some predetermined outcome. It's something that we're building right now.
And that's both a tremendous responsibility and an incredible opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon with part 3, where we'll wrap up our deep dive and explore some final thoughts on the future of AI. But before we go,
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends. See you next time for the final part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to TechSphere Podcast for the final part of our deep dive into the future of AI.
It's been a journey, hasn't it? Exploring all these different perspectives and potential impacts of AI.
It really has. We've gone from envisioning these possible futures with Sam Altman and Dario Amodei,
right,
to seeing how AI is already changing things in healthcare, finance, transportation, and more. But as we wrap up, I keep coming back to this one question.
Okay.
What does all of this mean for us as individuals? How can we prepare for a world where AI plays an even bigger role in our lives?
It's the question, isn't it? It's easy to get caught up in all the excitement or the fear surrounding AI and forget that it ultimately affects each and every one of us personally.
So where do we even begin? How can we equip ourselves for a future that's changing so rapidly?
I think the first step is simple, though not always easy. Stay curious. Embrace this mindset of continuous learning. The more we understand about AI, the better we'll be able to navigate its impact on our lives, our careers, everything.
That makes a lot of sense. But where should people start? There's just so much information out there, it can be really overwhelming.
Oh, it can feel like drinking from a fire hose. I'd say start with what interests you the most.
Okay.
Are you fascinated by, the technical side of AI, or are you more concerned with its ethical implications? Maybe you're wondering how AI is going to change your specific profession. There are resources out there for all of those areas.
So if someone is brand new to AI, where would you point them?
Well, we've already mentioned those blog posts by Sam Altman and Dario Amodei. Those are really great starting points for just getting a big picture view of AI's potential.
Yeah.
From there, you could explore, online learning platforms.
Right.
Like Coursera or ADX, which offer some fantastic AI courses for all levels, from beginner to advanced.
And don't forget, there's tons of great podcasts out there, too.
Of course.
Including our very own TechSphere Podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
But beyond learning about the technology itself, is there anything else people can do to be kind of proactive about AI's development?
Absolutely. One of the most powerful things we can do is talk about it.
Okay.
Have those conversations with your friends, family, colleagues. Share what you're learning, voice your concerns, brainstorm ideas for how AI can be used for good. These conversations really help us to grapple with the ethical and societal implications of AI and ensure that it develops in a way that aligns with our values.
So it's not just about individual learning, it's about this collective understanding and engagement.
Exactly. The future of AI, it isn't some predetermined outcome. It's something that we're all shaping together through the choices we make, the actions we take, and yes, even the conversations we have.
That's a powerful message to end on.
It is, isn't it?
The future of AI isn't set in stone.
No.
It's a future that we are building right now.
And that's both a tremendous responsibility and an incredible opportunity.
Well said. For all of our listeners out there, we encourage you to keep exploring this fascinating topic, stay informed, stay engaged, and help us build a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
Thanks for tuning in to TechSphere Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with your friends.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of technology and innovation.